The Social Media Lab is hosted by Richard Beeson and Scott Ayers and is powered by Agora Pulse.
Welcome to the Social Media Lab, busting the myths, rumors, and stories of the social media marketing ecosystem with science. Today, we're looking at your LinkedIn content strategy. If you're confused about what type of content you should be posting to LinkedIn, you're in good company.
You know, I work with businesses all the time that are very frustrated in terms of trying to figure out what types of posts are going to work on LinkedIn in comparison to Facebook.
Melonie Dodaro, the world's leading LinkedIn consultant, joins us on today's Social Media Lab. Hey, Scott, when was the last time you updated your LinkedIn profile?
Probably when I was hired by Agora Pulse last January.
I think I updated mine about 6 months ago. I'm the worst. I'm the worst at keeping LinkedIn up to date.
Yeah, you know, it's probably the most neglected social site out there other than Google Plus, of course. But
Of course. Yeah.
I've honestly been pretty active on LinkedIn the last 3 or 4 months and seen my follower count, which LinkedIn calls connections. I've doubled those to over 4,000 just by being active and reaching out to people a lot. And I actually post there at least once per day, and I use Agora Pulse to schedule all of my posts.
A shameless plug alert. Yeah, I'm just so happy here at Agora Pulse. I think that's my problem. I guess I got a little lazy, but I really could engage more.
Yeah, you should. Even though it is a site, obviously, that people use to get hired, it also is a great site to share content and talk about your niche. LinkedIn's still growing really steadily. They currently have about 250 million monthly active users. 133 million users are in the U.S., so it's huge here. And Social Media Examiner's yearly survey of marketers, they found that 81% of B2B marketers and 44% of B2C, that's business to customers marketers, use LinkedIn.
Fair enough. I guess I could engage more. Sometimes I just don't know what to post,
You know, I work with businesses all the time that are very frustrated in terms of trying to figure out what types of posts are going to work on LinkedIn in comparison to Facebook. And obviously, each social network is different.
That's Melonie Dodaro, the Melonie Dodaro.
Yeah, the international best-selling author of the LinkedIn Code.
She's the founder and head of Top Dog Social Media, a global leader in social media training.
And she's undoubtedly the most sought-after LinkedIn consultant in the world, which brings us to our very first ever LinkedIn experiment. Really? You brought a gong to the recording?
I couldn't help it. And I have to say, hearing a top social media marketing influencer who consults with the kind of brands that Melonie does, when she says I'm not alone in wondering what type of content works best on LinkedIn, it's a little reassuring. If you've been wondering what your business should post on LinkedIn, you're in good company.
I was really excited when Agora Pulse reached out to me and asked me to participate in an experiment that they wanted to do in terms of what posts perform the best on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is especially different in that it's 100% business focused. And so, a lot of times what's going to work on Facebook is not going to work on LinkedIn, and of course, vice versa.
I guess my first guess would be photos or videos, since that's what really performs well on all the other networks.
So the hypothesis that I had going into this was that text posts will perform the best. And I thought that because, I've witnessed it in terms of the posts that I do, the posts that my clients do.
Yeah, that's why we're going to test this. Other organizations have tried with anecdotal data to see what post types perform better on LinkedIn, but we're going to try to achieve some statistically significant results here.
Right, and we've heard Melonie's hypothesis. What's our hypothesis?
Well, our hypothesis is text-only updates will have the lowest amount of views on LinkedIn, which does go against what Melonie thought, but she's the expert after all on LinkedIn. I'm basing that purely off of being a mad Facebook addict.
Okay, that sounds interesting. How are we going to test this?
Well, we're going to compare the results from 3 different data sets. First, we tested 58 posts from the Agora Pulse company page, which has just under 1,000 followers. We haven't been crazy active on there. We are getting more lately. Then we're going to test 37 posts from my own personal LinkedIn profile, which, as mentioned, has about 4,000 followers. And finally, Melonie was kind enough to share some insights from a few of her recent posts, but she has about 34,000 followers on it.
Wow. And each of the profiles you mentioned provided a mixture of content types, right?
That's correct. We're taking a fair sample of link posts, photo posts, and text updates from an active profile, personal profile, a business page, and a very active influencer's profile on Melonie's.
Okay. How did we filter the post types for anomalies or irregularities?
Yeah, I excluded one set of data from this experiment, and that's what LinkedIn called a shared image post. And the reason I did that was because LinkedIn displays these shared images with a different look than a normal photo post, and it makes them clickable. So if you go over to it, it just takes you to the photo. It doesn't take you anywhere else. And it looks like LinkedIn's algorithm classifies these differently to your followers on the feed.
Okay, so it's a showdown between links, photos, and text updates on LinkedIn with two different hypotheses. Who won, photos or videos?
Well, you're not really going to believe this.
Photos.
No.
Ah, videos then.
Nope, wrong again.
You're kidding me.
I'm so not kidding you. The answer was plain old text updates.
Now, you statistically significantized that, didn't you?
I absolutely did. First, the numbers were significant themselves. On average, across all profiles, links gained around 5,800 views.
On average.
Yeah, on average. Photos got just under 6,000 views.
Okay, now that's pretty close. It seems like a pretty tight race.
Yeah, except text-only updates got nearly 69,000 views. Yeah, links, 5,800 views. Photos, 6,000. Text-only, 69,000. When we ran our calculations to determine the statistical significance of these findings, we found a 654% chance that this conclusion would predict future outcomes.
Wow. So we compared posts from an active personal profile, a business page, and an influencer's profile, and found that text updates, just text only, beat photos and links by over 1,000% in terms of views.
You know, what's interesting is link posts don't do poorly on LinkedIn. And, you know, you'll find that if you're sharing information about your business in a link post on Facebook, you'll rarely get any traction from that. That's not the case on LinkedIn. You can get a lot of traction from posting link posts.
Yeah, just to piggyback off what Melonie just said, what you post to LinkedIn will ultimately depend on your goals. If you're just on LinkedIn for engagement and to stay top of mind, maybe post more text updates. But if you're like most businesses, you want traffic to your website, so posting links is crucial.
So basically, you know, in terms of how I intend to make use of this, the results that really just kind of validated what I already believed is I'm not going to change anything about my strategy. I'm going to still post text posts. On occasion, I'm going to post image posts, and I'm going to continue to post link posts regardless of whether text posts perform better. Because at the end of the day, our goal is to drive traffic to the content that we're spending time creating that's going to educate, you know, our target market. You don't want to stop doing that because that's important. So, you know, if you're getting results and you're getting people viewing your content, it's still worthwhile, even though you're not going to get the same level of engagement. One of the things that I would add to that is, you know, just sharing a link on LinkedIn is not going to be effective unless you add some commentary to that. So you want to add your perspective to it. So you want to add some text to that to encourage people to actually open that article and read that content. People are using LinkedIn as a place to actually learn, in addition to, of course, networking and so forth. So regardless of what the results say here, continue to mix up a variety of different posts that you want to share on LinkedIn, and certainly don't stop posting links just because of the results of the study.
Exactly. I would suggest posting text updates followed by link posts with text, assuming LinkedIn's algorithm will reward your next post that has more views and engagement.
Well, once again, the world is completely upside down from what we assumed we knew. I would have never guessed that LinkedIn text updates would beat out photos and posts so significantly. I guess that's why we keep running these experiments. I want to thank Melonie Dodaro for sharing her data with us and suggesting this experiment. You can find her at topdogsocialmedia.com. Is there a test you'd like the social media lab to run for you? You can give us a shout out on the Agora Pulse Facebook page. Scott and I really look forward to hearing from you. And if you found this content to be valuable, we'd really appreciate a good rating on iTunes.